Have you ever in the history of this country seen a Senate house where the president walks in and everybody stand up to say, on your mandate we shall stand? Do you understand? What do you mean by that?
They're standing on the mandate. The mandate that brought them in.
The only mandate they have to stand on is the mandate of the people. Akpabio is up to something. Akpabio is anti-democratic. He is against the growth of this nation. And we cannot allow the vested interest of one man to shortchange our electoral reform of this. It is quite sad. Alicia, to be very honest with you, most of those senators have never actually, contested in a credible process. They've never even won an election through a credible process.
But
so they are scared of it.
80% of the senators, and I think APC has over 31 governors or there. So what is scared? That's the question everybody's asking. What is the possibility that they are not going to win?
But that's the question everybody's asking. You have 30 governors.
Yeah.
You have about 70% of the National Assembly APC members. So why are you scared of the election? You have almost the entire governance structure of the country. Is your party.
So that means
are you scared?
No, that means they're actually doing it for the good
of they're not doing it for the good of us.
Hello, Juice lovers. Welcome to another episode of our Proco podcast. I mean, if you missed us, of course, we're always here every week to give you all the juicy gist trending across the globe and our dear country, Nigeria. So today we'll be talking about something really, really important that affects all of us. When I say all of us, it's because whether you like it or not, whenever a law or something is done from that sector, you are definitely going to be affected. So whether or not you want to talk about it, whether or not you love it, whether or not you want to get involved, it concerns you. Ladies and gentlemen, I already know what you're thinking, but let me let the cards out of the bag. So today we'll be talking about politics. We'll be focusing on the political sector. A lot has been happening. Now, when the year started, we saw the rise of emergency, philanthropists, a lot of things going on, the eye service giveaway and gifts and all of that. And we all knew where this was headed. Of course, 2027 is around the corner. So what do you expect? Although most politicians actually start campaigning, immediately they win the election. But then that is not all. Something actually stood out, and something that every Nigerian is talking about right now. I'm talking about the Electoral Act Amendment Bill that has been on the table of the House of Representatives and the Senate for quite a long time now. And just when Nigerians were very hopeful that, when this is passed, we're going to maybe trust the electoral umpire again, because, from the things that played out in 2023, a lot of people might have given up on the electoral umpire, but they felt like, okay, this is an opportunity. But just while we were thinking about that, the Senate, under the leadership of the Senator, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, actually said that they were not going to approve the real-time transmission of results. And that has got Nigerians talking. But I am not alone. I have a political analyst who will be taking us through the journey. Airing out his views, telling us what he thinks, because that wasn't even the only thing that trended or the only thing that is trending. We have the story of another senator who actually added another title to his name. And that is a very competent and very amazing masseur. So whenever you need something, then maybe your foot is aching, you just need someone to help you out. We have a senator already who will help us do that. Let me not let everything out already. But ladies and gentlemen, I have with me a political analyst, the one that is here to shake the tables and not spare the politicians. I'm talking about Mr. Ntete Jarvis. How are you doing? This your smile is actually what? Are you really pained?
Don't take my smile to actually be my
expression. Yeah.
But I'm fine.
You're fine. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Okay. I just need to be sure because the politicians have done a lot. I know it's hurting you, but
it's hurting everyone. Whereas you're in Nigeria, and definitely what's going on in the country is actually going to affect you.
Okay. But are you sure? One thing, let me just ask this. One thing I usually say until I became a leader actually in school, that's school politics. Yeah, that was when I knew what leadership actually entails. So most times I just feel like, are we not really criticizing or pressurizing these people so much? Have we actually thought that what if I was there? What would I have done? Do you think that positions or seats have a way of influencing someone?
Yes, I think it's possible.
Okay.
Power has a way of influencing you. Power has a way of influencing you, either positively or negatively.
Okay.
Depends on which one you decide to choose, because at the end of the day, you still be the one to make that choice.
Okay.
The problem we have with Nigerian politicians is that none of them actually goes into public service with the mindset of actually serving the people. At some point, I usually ask myself if these people understand what public service is all about. Most of them actually go in there because they see politics in Nigeria as a way of enriching themselves.
Okay.
So that's the truth.
So if you go there, you won't bother about the money, right?
It's service, so we definitely have to serve the people.
Okay, so we'll be saving this video because we believe that sometime in the future you'll be there. So in case you just, we'll bring you back to this. All right. So let's go back to the actual reason we're here. So the real-time transmission, the Senate actually gave their own reasons. But before we get deep into that, I would like to know, when you saw that news, when the news started making the rounds, what came to your mind first? Were you surprised, or okay, we expected it?
Surprise? Not really. Or maybe I shouldn't say completely, because I have been following the electoral amendment process.
Okay.
And then you know that every bill before it's being passed is subjected to a public hearing. So the senators, the lawmakers, they don't actually make that decision alone. Subjected to a public hearing where civil society organizations and the general public actually make inputs. So I've been following it, and I felt like, okay, for at last we might actually, reform our electoral act to a way that is going to improve our electoral process. I was very, very positive about it. But when I heard the news that the Senate actually did not pass what the House of Reps had passed,
Assented, yeah.
it was funny to me at first. I was shocked. So although I was shocked, but at the same time, I was a bit calm. I wanted to, get their reasons. So when I saw the reasons they were giving, it just did not add up.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a valid reason? I mean, the network glitch and all of that, they don't want that excuse.
Let me tell you something. See, one of the main features of a democratic society is periodic elections. And then I feel like we have actually, gone a long way in our electoral reform process.
Okay.
You see, in 2015, we introduced card readers. It wasn't 100% perfect, but at least it was a step in the right direction. 2019, there was no amendment to the Electoral Act.
Okay.
For some reason, obvious reasons by politicians. Politicians who are actually afraid of fair, credible process. Then came 2023, ahead of the 2023 election. The Electoral Act was amended in 2022. That brought in BVAS, and then also I think Section 60, subsection 5 of that Electoral Act actually gave room for transfer of election results. Transfer, the word they will use, transfer.
Yeah.
But as prescribed by INEC. So it is that section of the Electoral Act that the National Assembly was supposed to amend.
Yeah.
To make it real-time electronic transmission of result, mandated, compulsory. That's what we wanted. That's what the people asked for.
Yeah.
To actually improve our electoral process. Because this is 2026, 27 years of uninterrupted democracy. And we are still having collations, where after polling units, you now see people moving election materials to go and collate at the ward level, From there, they move to local government collation. From local government collation, they go to state collation.
And that's why
During this transit, do you know what actually happens, Alicia? That is where these people subvert the will of the people. They mutilate result sheets, change figures. Those who will hijack the processes, they will even send talks, to get the ballot boxes
have you experienced that, or it's an alleged?
It's not alleged. The videos are there.
Okay.
Although I've not experienced it in my own polling center, but the videos are there. Across Nigeria, it happens. So we do not want that kind of process anymore. This is a right time for us to actually, improve our electoral process to a point where once we have an election, we will not be having so many post-election issues or violence, because the process will actually be credible. And it will also rid us of unnecessary electoral litigations. That's the truth. So they said that the two arguments they are making, which I don't know if there is another argument. First, they're talking about network.
Network glitch, yeah?
Yeah, network in rural areas. But it's not. Is it not in this country where we see bandits or jihadis or whatever they call them make TikTok videos in thick forests? And to even think of it, POS machine is in perhaps every village in this country. And the way Beavers is structured, if you update or if you upload the result after the election at the polling unit and the form EC8A has been signed and countersigned by party agents, if there's no network for it to be uploaded to the iRef portal, provided you've sent it, once you move to an area where there is network,
it shows up.
That's just it. It's as simple as that. They are just trying to, complicate the process rather. So I'm just like, what's really wrong with these people? Like, why are they so scared of credible elections? Why don't they want the people to be the ones to decide who should actually lead them? That is my concern.
Okay.
I think there's another argument they're making. I think what's the second argument they're making? Okay, they are comparing us with advanced societies, telling us that advanced societies are still engaging in manual collation. But the truth is that in advanced societies, you wouldn't have talks chasing presiding officers to get ballot boxes from them. You would not have desperate politicians mutilating result sheets.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened in Abia State in the governor 2023 gubernatorial election that brought in Alex Otti? He tried to, upturn the will of the people. But it failed. It failed because of Beavers. If there was no Beavers, perhaps they would have succeeded. So we need to keep making this progress. Perhaps every election cycle, we need to keep amending the Electoral Act till we get it right, till we get to a point where our electioneering process becomes very perfect for us, where, when once an election result is being announced, you just know, okay, this one actually reflects the will of the people.
Okay, that's very amazing. But then I really want to know. I mean, we're talking about real-time transmission. The machine or the whatever we're going to use, there are people who actually control this thing. So do Nigerians really think that if we do the real time, it won't be manipulated? Like the machine cannot be manipulated. Is it even possible?
The thing is this. There's this notion that there's no system is perfect.
Yeah.
But at least you try to go for the safer system. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And at this point, what is best for us now is e-transmission.
Okay.
We have seen manual collation. We know what happens there. So it's better we try the e-transmission. And another thing is this. The president has allocated, I think, 1 trillion naira to INEC. So what are they going to do with 1 trillion naira where they cannot actually provide a credible electoral process? Now, let me chip in something. I think my major concern is not even about the valid arguments they are raising.
Okay.
It is with the Senate president. I have actually followed the electoral amendment process, right from when I think it started in, September 2024 or thereabouts, where a joint committee of the National Assembly was chaired by Lalong, they started this process. So when they got to the point where the House of Rep had actually passed for mandatory transmission of electronic transmission of results, It was now time for the Senate. Then the Senate actually did something different. So because of that, the Senate president said that they should actually, set up a conference committee to harmonize it. But I noticed something in the plenary that got my attention. Senator Simon Lalong, who was the chairman of that committee, initially was not included in the conference committee to harmonize what they had passed. I noticed vividly Senator Ali Ndume was speaking very passionately, protesting against his exclusion. That was when the Senate president now said now include add Senator Lalong.
But he made it. He said you were not around, or maybe
when they started. Yes, because Lalong came in from the court. Yeah, court judgment. He was initially the minister for labor, so I think he came in late to the Senate. So I think he made a point. However, he still chaired the committee until when the final amendment was done. So there was no way you would remove him, except you had there was something kind of a reason for that. Ningi also protested before the president. Okay, it was even the Senate leader who walked up to him, Senator Opeyemi, who walked up to him and told him, okay, let's just make him chairman again. Like there's something like it was not adding up. Like,
so is it that they have maybe factions?
It's obvious because when the opposition senators, I think led by Abaribe, when they did a press conference, they said something. That what they agreed in a closed door session, I don't even know why they should have a closed door session before a sitting to actually pass a very important law. They say what they agreed during that closed door session was that they agreed on a mandatory transmission of results. When they came up, they passed something different. So Akpabio is up to something. Akpabio is anti-democratic. He is against the growth of this nation. And we cannot allow the vested interest of one man to shortchange our electoral reform at DC. It is quite sad. It is very, very sad.
So are you indirectly supporting Oshomole when he said the Senate president is a rubber stamp Senate president? Because from what you're saying, it's obvious that anything goes. If there's a stamp, it stamps.
Alicia, have you ever in the history of this country seen a Senate house where the president walks in and everybody stand up to say on your mandate we shall stand? Do you understand? What do you mean by that?
They're standing on the mandate. The mandate that brought them in.
The only mandate they have to stand on is the mandate of the people. Their loyalty should always be to the nation first and to the people. Not to the president. The president is just a public servant as they are. That's the truth.
Okay. So
Akpabio actually, yes, is a rubber stamp president. And we've seen it. Is it not the same Senate that they said the tax law they passed was actually different from the one they are telling us?
So does it mean that
is that not an impeachable offense?
So things go behind the scenes and then they come out to do whatever they want to do.
I think there is always a meeting before even the Senate.
Real meeting.
There's actually a meeting before them. So the Senate president just comes in and actually carries out the directive
of one person or a group of people.
Persons. I would say maybe a cabal, because in every government there is a cabal.
So that means those particular people are actually sitting on the enjoyment and the good things Nigerians are supposed to enjoy. Definitely. Wow. Oh my God. So talking about the disagreement or the conflict between the House of Reps and the Senate all the time. I mean, the House of Reps says this. I thought there was supposed to be a harmony or an agreement between them, right? So if this is saying yes, this should say yes. So how do you think we can resolve that? Or should it be that everyone just do whatever your members want?
I think that's the reason why I've always been against bicameral legislation. But for some reasons, we keep, looking this, opinion that people keep raising about bicameral legislation. These are the issues that it usually comes up with. But I hope and I pray that the protest, the disagreement, because civil society organizations have actually stood up to say no. We want mandatory transmission of electoral results, real time.
Real time.
I have read from the National Society of Engineers. I have read from the NBA. I have read from other civil society organizations. And right now, this morning, there was a protest led by the opposition leader, Mr. Peter Obi. So I hope by the emergency meeting they'll be having tomorrow, they should be able to harmonize and pass what the House of Rep had passed into law to amend our electoral act for the good of this country.
So from the agitation and everyone talking about this, does it mean, or are we trying to say that the senators are scared of returning? Because from the way things are going, people are saying, oh, they are scared because they know Nigerians are not going to vote them in and all of that. So are you trying to say that, okay, they are trying to secure their seats because they know that they've actually wronged Nigerians, or they want the best for the electoral process?
They don't want the best for our electoral process because they know that the best of our electoral process will not favor them.
Are you seriously?
Alicia, to be very honest with you, most of those senators have never actually, contested in a credible process. They've never won an election through a credible process.
But
so they are scared of it.
80% of the senators, and I think APC has over 31 governors or there. So
what is he scared? That's the question everybody's asking.
What is the possibility that they are not going to win?
But that's the question everybody's asking. You have 30 governors.
Yeah.
You have about 70% of the National Assembly APC members. So why are you scared of the election? You have almost the entire governance structure of the country. Is your party.
So that means they are
you scared?
No, that means they're actually doing it for the good of
they're not doing it for the good of us.
So that people, so that Nigerians, they've doubted us. Okay, let's just, do this to make sure that the election goes well. We don't get complaints and all of that. Because from all indications, they're having the upper hand. Right?
Alicia, this is what it is. That's why I said, my understanding of politics is actually very different from the way, an average Nigerian understands.
Okay.
There is this thing about Nigerians that look at politics from a very political angle. So once you control party structures, you have 30 governors, all those analyses. At the end of the day, most of the electorates are not politicians. They do not belong to any political party.
Yeah.
Those are the people feeling the heat of the government. So they are only going to vote based on,
It's their civic right.
Yes.
And then they want to choose a leader, yeah.
That's it. And then when you look at how bad the APC-led federal government has been since Mr. Tinubu was sworn in 2023, everybody wants to reject APC. So the senators are aware of that.
But we have people defecting 247. Mango crowds, they're
all politicians, so they are protecting their interests. They feel that they have to be in the ruling party so that they will be protected by the president.
Okay.
That's the truth. Now, looking back at that conference committee, there was something I noticed. The Senate, members of the Senate that made up the Senate, I saw 9 names. I think it was 9 senators. 7 of them were APC members.
Okay.
2 were PDP members. Now, the 2 that were PDP members are loyalists of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory,
who is also a loyalist
to the APC. So you see that the entire you see, it's funny. It's only the House of Rep that had 6 members and 5 were APC, and 1 was actually a true opposition member of the PDP. That's about 15 to 1. 15 to 1. So if other people come and say, no, we're going to stand by what the Senate passed.
On your mandate to stand.
You see, but my happiness is that Nigerians have actually risen. Yes, if you actually know what's happening right now in the country, people are protesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is lending their voice against it. They say we want, and that is what we want.
Yeah, so I saw a comment yesterday that really caught my attention. He said, all these men should know that what others did and got away with will not repeat itself, because there was no social media then. But now everything travels in seconds. Okay, everything travels in seconds, right? 2023, we actually spoke out. Oh, they did this, I did that. Where did it end? That's another point.
We were subjected. We felt that we could actually, retrieve our mandates at the court.
Okay, so now
We placed our faith. We placed our faith on the court because we did not really understand
the system.
not really the system, the act, that subsection 5,
Okay.
section 60 of the Electoral Act.
Yeah.
We talked about transfer and also give the discretion as to how INEC should collect results. That is the section that we want it to be amended. Make it mandatory. So that on the election day, if you do something different as at 2023, then when we get to the court has to fall back to what the...
Are we still dependent on the court?
Once you amend the Electoral Act and says that you can only transfer results electronically in real time, mandatory, make it compulsory. So on the election day, if there is a glitch again and you can't transfer results electronically, then we can use that against that the outcome in the court.
But who is the CGN loyal to? Who are the judges loyal to?
You can't upturn what is in the law.
We're actually talking about the court, which is said if they assent to that particular law, and then we have something, Nigerians have something to hold on to. And I asked you a question: who puts the judges in there? Who puts the CGN there? Who are they loyal to? And what if we get to that point and maybe they feel like, oh, this thing, Nigerians are actually taking the energy and holding on to that? What if they kidnap the judge or something happens?
You see,
I
understand the fact that we do not have faith in our judiciary, and rightly so, because we've actually seen in very, so many circumstances where there have, been a miscarriage of justice, and so it's actually very fair for us to lose faith in them. That is why, in my opinion, I am asking for them to pass the amendment of the Electoral Act, so that we will be going into the election with the mindset of winning.
Okay.
Yes, with the mindset of winning. We do not want to put our faith in the court afterwards. Yeah, we do not want to put our faith in the court. We do not have an independent judiciary. That's the truth.
Okay.
We actually seen how the minister of FCT,
winning left, right, said,
destroys the judiciary, does whatever he likes to the judiciary.
Yeah, and recently they endorsed his faction of PDP, and I was like, INEC recognized
his own faction of it. It was expected. This is somebody that actually, during his local government tour in his state, in one of the local government, he actually made a very, very striking, in his response to, what the national secretary had said to him when he told him to stay away from their party, issues. He said something that he said the way he said it was like, he said, look at them now, they are enjoying in Osun. They did not know the people that did the work for them in Osun. He was referring to the judgment of the Supreme Court concerning the local government election in Osun State that went in favor of the APC. What does that mean? What does that tell you? That this man actually, controls, might not be entirely, but a part of our judiciary.
But maybe he's a smart politician.
You might call it smart, because I know in Nigeria, honestly, there are people who glaze Wike every week. You go them, see them post things about Wike. They call him the best politician of all time. They don't care about the fact that this man does so many, anti-democratic stuffs.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised when you say he's a smart politician. Yes, in a contemporary politics, those are the people we see to be smart politicians, but never smart administrators. You don't see them when it comes to governance. It's always about when it comes to politics.
But he did amazingly well when he was the governor of Rivers State.
What did he do? Building flyovers, doing flyover project, because that's the easiest way to siphon money. Why is people doing so much big projects? It's because the easiest way to siphon money now. You won't see them build schools, primary healthcare centers, do things that actually thought you common man, provide security and all that.
Are you going to say the same thing about the current Minister of Works? See how he transformed the Boy State now.
There are still people who are saying that he used his company to siphon money, because most of those the jobs he did there were actually controlled by his company. So
everything is still smartness, though. For me, that's what I think. I don't know.
But they're not being smart in a good way because it's not benefiting Nigeria. Their politics is not benefiting Nigerians anymore.
Okay.
Kudos to him in a way he, kind of find a way to actually,
Transform.
stay relevant in
Yeah.
Nigerian political sector. But that's not what we want. That's not what I admire.
That sometimes you the calm ones, the good ones don't actually,
Because
go
they don't
there.
know they don't know how to play the Nigerian kind of politics.
So I think that was what some people were talking about. Peter Obi is too calm. That's not the way to follow.
He's not
So
calm.
if
Peter Obi is not calm.
if Peter Obi had the characteristics of Wiki, I know, check it out now. They will not.
Peter Obi doesn't need to have the character. In fact, if he had the characteristics of Wiki, he won't command the followership that he has. That's the truth. The reason why he commands a large followership, especially among young people, is because he's different. That's the truth. This is somebody that left government about how many years ago,
And
the
relevant.
EFCC has
not
never
searched.
invited him, despite being a member of the opposition.
I think you are a supporter of Obi from the way you are.
I'm an obedient, honestly.
By their talk, we know who they are. All right, so moving on to the next, just like I mentioned earlier, one of our senators, a one-time national chairman of the APC, a one-time president of the National Labour Congress, or Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the current, a one-time governor as well of Edo State, and a current senator, actually added a new portfolio to his name, or to himself. And there was a video trending last week about him and a very beautiful lady that calls herself an official sugar baby. And she stated clearly that she doesn't want anyone who doesn't have money around her. So in quotes, or by her words, she means you have to be up there for you to get her. But just recently we saw a video of our beloved Senator Adams Oshiomhole massaging and doing what he knows how to do best with the lady. And then he came out to say that it was AI. So right now, investigations are still going on because we do not really know what that was. It could be that someone actually planted it there, or it could be that someone is trying to frame him up. 2027 is just around the corner and anything can happen. So what do you have to say about that? I mean, when you saw the video.
I was not surprised. Yeah, of course, he's a Nigerian politician, so I won't be surprised. It's perhaps it was somebody else that actually did it. But I'll be, what? But since he's a Nigerian politician, they don't care about optics at all. They don't care about optics. And one thing I always tell people is that once you're a public servant, once you accept to be a public servant, you have subjected yourself to a lifetime of scrutiny. So whatever you do, even in your private life, just expect people to scrutinize you.
Yeah.
So Oshiomhole is fully aware of this. And Oshiomhole is one man that I admire growing up. Back then during NTA 9 p.m. news, there was this man I always see in my screen, and I would always ask my dad, like, who is this man? And my dad would tell me he's the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress. The man was actually holding the government accountable. He was the voice of the people. Oshiomhole will come out, they will speak, lead a protest without fear. And government will actually, reverse every anti-people policies that they actually came up with.
He always got what he protested against.
He became a politician, won governorship. In fact, at first, his victory, was truncated, still by the same electoral process that we're trying to amend. He went to court and he retrieved his mandate. So he became a politician and became a very different person. Everything he stood for, now he's standing against it. Oshiomhole has been speaking in support of the APC-led federal government that has actually destroyed every fabric of this country. This was the very same man that was for the people when he was a Labour leader. He became a politician and he changed. So now, seeing that video, I was not surprised because I actually know the person, the character that Oshiomhole is. So him coming out to say it was an AI video, I don't know whether
possible. Maybe someone tried to frame him up.
I know so many people who know so much about tech and all that. So once they see an AI video, they will know. That particular one, they told me it's not an AI video. And I think from what I heard also that the lady posted the
Yes.
video on her Instagram page. If it's an AI video, why would she post it on her Instagram page? And there is another write-up I saw on someone's Facebook page where Oshomolo came to make clarity on the issue on what happened. And then there was a line that was that had caught my attention where he said that the lady felt cramp, and then since there was nobody there, he had to become an emergency masseur.
No, he's very caring.
It's very fun. But he actually did it very well.
Yes.
The way he was, it looks as if it's something he does.
He has been doing it. Let's give him credit. I mean, he has tried.
But it's very sad that and all this happened in the private jet. All this happened in the private jet. That the public servants will be using our public wealth. Will be displaying our public wealth in that manner.
But he didn't steal money. Did he steal your money? Is any money missing?
It's public funds. As a public servant, you do not display wealth in that kind of manner.
So are you indirectly saying that if Oshomole had treated the electoral bill like the leg, yes the way he used,
Thank you.
So we would have gotten the real-time
transmission of results.
So. Seriously? Yeah. Oh, okay. But let me also state that Oshomole has actually been speaking out, because he was the one who brought our attention to the rubber stamp senator that we.
Do you know why he made that statement?
Why that?
See, the Senate chamber is a chamber where there's a whole lot of politics. Politics goes on here and there. People clamor for position. People clamor for goodwill and all that. Perhaps the Senate president had not given Oshomole what he wanted. That was why he came out to accuse the Senate president of being rubber stamped. Since then, has he made a comment about the Senate president being rubber stamping?
Yeah, maybe because he's not rubber stamping again.
He's still rubber stamping, and you know that. He's still rubber stamping.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, in summary, we're saying Oshomole shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, even if you want to carry out at least his private life, there's nothing wrong with an old man exploring.
A lot of people.
But it should have been discreetly. It shouldn't be on the eyes of the media. It shouldn't have come up to the public.
Maybe because she's a public figure or a social media personality.
As Oshomole being a public servant should have actually, protected his reputation.
Okay. Now back to the next news, or over to the next news. We also saw a news of the First Lady trending. I mean, she was applauded or recognized by the US president, the strongest man in the world. Yes, in quotes. So we saw the way he acknowledged or recognized her presence, and then boom, everywhere on the internet. Oh, the First Lady was the strongest man, complimented the First Lady, this and that. And Nigerians are like, you people don't know this thing. Maybe it was the script that was given to him to read at that time, or maybe because there's a deal that we needed to sign at that time. But then the politicians actually spoke a lot about it, and some are saying, oh, you can see that Nigerians are in good light. So are they trying to say, or are they trying to portray that maybe because Trump had threatened earlier that he was going to send or deploy his soldiers here, are they trying to paint that, okay, we are now in good terms? The first man of the US has already praised or celebrated the First Lady, and by extension, Nigerians. So what does that really mean? The picture they're trying to paint at this time, is it we are okay, we're in good terms, nothing is going on anymore, everything has been sorted? Is that a picture they're trying to paint from all of this?
First and foremost, I want to say that Nigerians sometimes amuse me, honestly, their comments on issues. The president, the US actually hosted was it a national prayer or something?
Yeah.
And then the wife of the most popular black man in the world was there. And the president of the United States noticed her and recognized her. What's there? I just feel it's a simple diplomatic courtesy. Yeah. There's no big deal. There's nothing there at all. Trump already has, gotten what he wanted. His troops are here in Nigeria. So what else? He keeps saying it, that he's going to fight against Christian genocide. The said lady, actually, from what I read, actually went to the US to go and dilute the commentary about Christian genocide as a pastor. Well, actually, who claims to be a pastor, because from my little knowledge of most of the Pentecostal churches, their pastorship doesn't have any spiritual coloration. It's more like an honorary title. Honestly, I won't want any apology. It's more like an honorary title, and I think the one where the first lady has gotten is an honorary title. I have never seen her preach anywhere. I've known her for about 15 years since she has been in the National Assembly. Even now that she's a first lady, not even in the Aso Villa Church has she preached. What kind of pastor are you? Are you not supposed to propagate the gospel of Christ? Even though you're a politician, at least once in a while, you should show us that you're a pastor. And the way she speaks, the things she supports, right from when she was in the Senate, does not in any way reflect someone that is actually. So whatever the commentary about Trump giving her respect, it's just diplomatic courtesy and nothing more. And moreover, we do not need the validation from the US to actually know that this government is bad. Yeah, because we are the ones feeling it, we are the ones experiencing it. So whatever, whether the Trump is glazing her or calling us sweet names and whatever, we do not care. What we know is that Tinubu's government has destroyed every fabric of Nigeria, every fabric in this country.
So my problem, or the problem I had with that, I don't have a problem with them applauding or making it a news or something. Yeah, but my problem is that was it 2 days or a day after that we had issues, the killing in Kwara State, and we didn't hear them talk much about it, like they were shouting about the whole thing.
You see, the problem is that I think Nigerians have we have, sunk to a level where we do not even have feelings. 160, about 160 to 170 persons were killed. Killed, not animals, people were killed, slaughtered, and it did not make national, waves. It wasn't even an emergency issue.
Nothing.
The National Assembly did not call the chief of security chiefs to come and explain. Let me tell you the truth. In advanced societies, if terrorists kill over 160 people in a particular place overnight, the entire military chiefs will resign. They won't even wait to be sacked. They will resign. Because that's a failure on their own part, and they know that. But in Nigeria, everything goes. Even this morning, where I came here, I saw on the news that I think a pastor has been kidnapped in, I think, Kaduna or there. So these things keep happening. It happens every day. It has become a norm. So Nigerians are even so used to it now. Like we are expecting this kind of news. And the president is doing nothing. In fact, he is planning to travel out, or whether he has traveled out already to the UK, go and see the prince, the king of England. So you see, these people actually do not care about governance.
Okay.
That's why we need a change.
Yeah, but we cannot entirely blame the president, right?
It's the chief
everybody has a responsibility,
no,
right?
When it comes to security, it falls on the table of the president. He even said it to Jonathan. The tweet is there. He said it to Jonathan. In 2014, the tweet is there.
So what if he has given the orders?
He has given the orders, but they are not doing it. If they are not doing it, then he is a failure. Are you sure he's giving the orders? Are you very sure? I don't want to sit here to talk about the politicization of our security in this country. That's the truth. Because I believe that if we have been very honest with ourselves and we want to, combat terrorism, we won't even wait for the US to, pressure us or to even come in to assist us. Nigeria has what it takes to combat terrorism. Terrorism has been politicized. It's a business in the north. It's a business in the north. And the politicians are involved in it. So I'm not even sure that terrorism will actually end soon in Nigeria. I'm very sure.
By the grace of God, it's definitely going to end. Yeah. That's why you need to go out and vote come 2027. Okay, so let's talk about 2027 and the possibility of other parties, facing the ruling All Progressives Congress. Now we've seen a a lot of endorsement going on, especially the celebrities. Let's talk about that. The celebrities, you open the news and you hear on your mandate we shall stand. You open the side and you're seeing, oh, we just endorse as a youth representative, whatever, Bola Tinubu movement or Renewed Hope movement and all. So if you check every state, they have strong forces, right? Strong representatives. These are people who can pull the crowd, pull the people together. So this is really working for them, right? There is every possibility from what we're seeing, from the strategies we've seen so far, that the APC will definitely return, not because they are scared of anyone, but because they've laid the strategies and so let's talk about how the opposition can actually the strongest opposition we're seeing now is the ADC, yeah, which is still shaking, yeah, to some extent. So let's talk about that. The endorsement, does it make the APC ahead of others?
Politically, I'm a politician, so most times when I want to make analysis about politics, I have to be very fair and frank.
Yeah.
The APC is a ruling party, definitely. And if you want to be honest to yourself, you want to speak with your emotions, you would say they are the favorites to win the election. But that doesn't mean they will win the election or the opposition doesn't stand a chance. Of course, they have 30 governors, about 70% of the National Assembly members. 30 governors actually translates to about, if you want to go state by state, for instance, in Akwa Ibom State, you have an APC governor. The entire government structure of the state is APC.
Sure.
That is the House of Assembly, the commissioners, the local government chairman, down to the councils. Now, if you want to put this into context, those individuals are friends,
Families,
acquaintances, and loyalists. They can actually convince to vote for them. Not because they know that the party is going to do well, but because of what they are going to get when their close person is in power. That's actually a huge number. However, that is not enough to win an election. Because just like I said earlier, we have about, if you look at the Nigerian electorate, about 50%, I'm very certain, about 50% do not belong to a political party, do not have any loyalty to any political party. So when those persons go to the polls, they are going to vote their conscience. You understand? So it is a battle of the APC-led government and the Nigerian people. What we're going to see.
Battle of the APC and the Nigerian party.
Now, talking about the socialites, the celebrities, endorsement, and all that.
Yeah.
I've not even seen any celebrity with any political clout endorsing the presidency.
And recently, Obi Kubana,
he doesn't have political clout. I think maybe I can say he has social capital. I think those people, it's just for public validation. You know, these people know that these people, okay, they are public figures. They have some persons who actually follow them, who can listen to them, who they can convince. But is that enough? Obi Kubana is from Anambra State.
Of course.
So can you tell yourself, be honest to yourself, that he can even win his polling unit? If Peter Obi is on the ballot, can Obi Kubana win his polling unit for president? So these are the questions. I also saw another one. I think there are so many groups. So there's another one
amongst Nollywood.
Yes, there is the one Obi Kubana is called, I think, City Boy Movement. He's a coordinator. I think Southeast coordinator thereabout. Then there's another one where Yul Edochie is. Zakoji. I didn't even know that people like Zakoji were still here until I saw him. There's a one he called out whether renewed something for so many names. All these things do not matter. Those people have one vote. If we're being honest, those people have one vote.
But they have family and friends.
I'm not. We all have family and friends. Me too. I have family and friends. I'm telling you, I'm not boasting. I can actually, convince more people to vote for my candidate that Yul Edochie will in Anambra State.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you. These people do not have any political clout. Forget what they do not. They are just like, okay, celebrities. He's just trying to, he's seeking what's his name? Sheyi Tinubu is just seeking for public validation for his father, for a failed government. So let's bring all these celebrities, see the ones who can bring, so that when they start campaigning, and then it will look as if, oh, because they are going to sell a whole lot of propaganda, and Nigerians have to be very careful. But this is a period of politics.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, so about the opposition parties, and right now we thought that the PDP was the strongest opposition, but right now we have factions inside the faction, and I don't think they even stand a chance because one of the men who is actually the strongest voice is a loyalist to the government. So we know who he is. Let's not mention his name, though.
It's a pity.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's a pity for a party that actually, was the biggest party in the whole of Africa.
very big.
They ruled this country for 16 years. And as much as I'm always very critical of the PDP 16 years of it, they actually, laid a foundation, a proper foundation for our democracy to grow. And for us to keep making progress in terms of governance strides. But then, seeing them, fall this way is a pity, because I was still expecting them to be the major opposition going into 2027. But Tinubu, the president, being a master political strategist, as they always call him, the moment he got into power, he started playing 2027 politics. That is why he kept governance aside. Everything he has been doing is politics. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has actually been his man for that job. Destroy the PDP, weaken them, ensure that they do not have a presidential candidate. They started, I think, the same thing in Labour Party.
Yeah.
It is just of recent that the Supreme Court ruled that Menadi Usman, that is the Peter Obi faction, is the authentic. That was when after Peter Obi had left.
Yeah.
So you see, it's sad for the PDP, and my concern is why there are still people in the party. because the unending legal tussle will not end. It's actually a well orchestrated plan by the ruling party to destroy them. And thank God we have gotten a formidable coalition to challenge them. So I think they should, the ADC, I think the PDP,
ADC.
Yeah. ADC should join us. And you said something about the ADC is trying to find their feet or struggling. No, we are not struggling. The ADC is not struggling. I'm telling you.
Have you been approved and recognized by INEC?
Why not?
Have you held your national congress?
We fixed it. It's coming up. It's coming up in 2 months.
Do you have structures in the states?
We have. In Cross River States, it's very soon we will have a grand defection rally in Cross River State. And you will see the people who have actually joined our party.
Really?
Yes.
So you're actually saying...
It's already on the news that the former governor of Cross River State is now a member of the ADC.
Of course, we know about that. But people think or feel that those in the ADC or those moving to the ADC are failed politicians, in quotes, who, because they don't have the capacity and the power anymore, they're just looking for where to hide.
The truth is that politics will always be played by politicians. That's the truth. So it is not civil society members, or it's not lawyers that are going to come and form a party. It's still politicians. But they've accepted the fact that coming to a coalition, this coalition actually has ideology. And they want to make change. So they are coming to key into that ideology of change.
I wish you all the best, but the people I'm seeing, the faces I'm seeing in that ADC, I just hope that the presidential ticket will not be an issue, because I'm seeing Atiku there, I'm seeing Kwankwaso, I think he's trying to go in there, I'm seeing Peter Obi there, and the rest. So I just hope they are not going to plant some people there to also disorganize the party, because they did that to Labour Party.
The thing is that once it comes to politics, everybody has the right, it's a fundamental human right contest for election. So I think the party will do the right thing at the right time.
Okay.
And there will be no issues. Whichever form of mode of primaries they will choose, I just believe that they will be able to, agree on a candidate they know will be appealing to the Nigerian masses. And that has the capacity to unseat the incumbent.
To unseat? That's the word, unseat. The question now is, can we actually pull him out?
That is why we are asking the Senate to do the right thing
Okay.
and pass the Electoral Act as amended by the House of Representatives, so that we need to demystify Mr. Tinubu.
All right, so it has been an amazing conversation so far with my amazing guest. I mean, he didn't spare anyone, and I feel like giving him a thumbs up right now. So thank you so much, Mr. Jarvis. So before we go, I just need you to talk to Nigerians. I mean, I see protests ongoing already, led by His Excellency Peter Obi and a host of others. So I just need you to talk to Nigerians. So beyond the protests, beyond how do we actually make sure that our voices are heard, and how do we make sure that the Senate does the right thing? I mean, tomorrow they'll be having an emergency sitting. So how do we push for what we want?
Okay, I want to say this to Nigerians. They have to understand that protest is actually a democratic action. They are not doing anything wrong. So I enjoin that every single Nigerian, well-meaning Nigerian, should lend their voices to act to this. They should protest offline if you cannot come out. Protest online. Join those who are already on the streets. Keep calling for the Senate to actually pass the real-time transmission of results. We need to preserve and protect the future of this country.
Okay. Wow. So join the protest online, offline, wherever you are. Make sure your voice is heard. All right. So talking about 2027 election, which is just around the corner. So what is your encouragement to the youth, especially those who have actually given up on the electoral process? I mean, because of 2023, a lot of people will tell you, no, I can't go out again. They have already concluded who is going to win. So I just need you to talk to the youth right now.
Okay, I seriously, at this point, I want to encourage every youth, every young person, especially those that have gotten to the voting age, to actually go out and register, get their PVC, and be ready to be part of the electioneering process in 2027. They should not lose hope. Like I said earlier, our electoral reform journey has actually been a very good one. Yeah, we are just 27 years when it comes to uninterrupted democracy. So we are still in a process. So we should not lose hope. So everybody should be part of the political process because it affects our daily lives. So I'm urging all the youths to go out there, get their PVC, and get ready for the election. And also hold their leaders accountable. Ask questions when necessary.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. So from the look of things, it is obvious that it is not going to be business as usual. So if you are a leader who's just there occupying position and hoping that, oh, when the time comes, we'll do our normal thing, just note that it's not going to be business as usual. So you have to stand up and do what you ought to do. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the show. And thank you so much, Mr. Jarvis. It has been an amazing conversation. And I hope to have you more and more again, while the politics unfolds and everything. We'll keep inviting you. Thank you so much.
That would be nice.
Yeah, thank you to our fans. Thank you to our viewers. My name is Alicia Johnson. You can call me the exceptional lady. And it has been so amazing talking to you all. And I want to say thank you. I love you and see you in the next episode.